We have massive trade news on someone who isn't Jimmy Butler. I'm here to break down the new updates on All-Star point guard De'Aaron Fox and how he could be available as soon as this season for trade. I'm here to break down how the Miami Heat could get him as well as what would happen if they did. I'm here to break it all down on this episode of Heat Digest. But first, before we get to the news, remember, if you're part of the 85.5% currently watching this video, not currently subscribed to the channel, and you want to stay up to date on everything Miami Heat, scroll down, click the subscribe button. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We do appreciate all the love and support, so thank you guys. But now, let's not waste any time and get right to it and breaking down Bring Me De'Aaron Fox. Now, we've had these conversations in the past based off speculation and other things, nothing that seems too concrete about the idea, at least, of De'Aaron Fox possibly being traded from this Sacramento Kings team that drafted him back in 2017 out of the University of Kentucky. But as of yesterday, Shams reports this, that the De'Aaron Fox and the Sacramento Kings could be open to possibly being in a relationship where they're okay with possibly parting ways. Going on to say the Sacramento Kings are expected to open up talks to potentially deal All-Star De'Aaron Fox ahead of February 6th trade deadline. Sources tell ESPN there will be plenty of suitors, but it is believed that Fox has a target destination in mind ahead of the 2026 free agency. Now, if you don't know how this works, De'Aaron Fox's contract currently looks like this. He is currently 27 years old in the 2024-2025 NBA season, currently getting paid $34 million. Now, after this season ends, he will go into his year 28 season, and again, that will be the last year of the current contract he is under. After that following year, he will become an unrestricted free agent where he can test the market, and he will be getting massively paid, like boatloads of money getting paid, because he is in his prime without a doubt. Again, he will be 29 years of age in that unrestricted free agent season when he does become a free agent, and again, he can test the market, and again, he is going to get paid very, very well, and it's well-deserving because, again, he's De'Aaron Fox, and up to this point of his career, he has been damn good at basketball. Obviously, going into his playing in his 8th season out of the University of Kentucky, and again, he was good in college, he was good when he came out of college, and he's progressively only gotten better by the season. And again, he's just gaining more and more experience. Only been to the playoffs one time in his NBA career up to this point. But again, during the regular season, he has proved his value. And again, his overall skill set seems, and again, I've said this before, but just in general, his skill set is elite, and it's in a class of very few, and the reason being is because, one, he's a point guard, two, he is left-handed, he is lightning fast, gives us big comparisons to someone like a John Wall back when he was in Washington in his heyday, and his ability to get from one end of the floor to the other at lightning speed, being able to push the basketball down the floor at that speed and really keep all of the defense off balance, as well as not really having to rely on half-court sets, and because of the ability to start and finish a fast break with his speed, as well as the passing and facilitating ability that obviously De'Aaron Fox has, something in similarity with someone like John Wall. But also, something that we've alluded to hundreds of times on this channel, De'Aaron Fox would fit in Miami not only for the reasons we just listed, but as well as the defensive capabilities that he really possesses. Obviously, being a guard, being as tall and lengthy as he is, with the speed and quickness, whether it be laterally or up and down the floor, he has the ability to be an absolute menace. And up to this point of his career, he has been an absolute menace on the defensive end. And I think if you put him in a Miami Heat jersey, you pair him with Tyler Hero, Kel'el Ware, and Bam Adebayo, a former Kentucky Wildcat who played together back in 2017, I think this team could drastically change. Not only could we get rid of what Jimmy Butler has become in a negative anomaly in the locker room. And again, it's hard to describe him because it's so hard to beat up on Jimmy Butler because of the respect and the tenure he's had in Miami and the respect that we've given him because of that, of the run he's had in Miami up to this point in the season, or at least up to this season itself. If you can flop Jimmy Butler plus a draft pick, I know you don't want to give up more than Butler because of the value he has, but in order to get someone like De'Aaron Fox, I would assume that we'd have to move Butler plus maybe a piece of draft capital or two involving a Sacramento Kings team, as well as possibly others, in order to get a lot of moving parts here, in order to get De'Aaron Fox to Miami. I think that would be a massive win for this Miami Heat team. This season, he is averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.5 steals, as well as, I'm sorry, the print is very small, 6.2 assists. He's having a great year, 1.5 steals as well. He is really just getting it done. He's an all-around player. There's no way around it. I can't read the stats because the wording and font is way too tiny. But the point is, he's a complete player. He not only offensively but defensively can play the game of basketball at any time. Doesn't matter if it's the opening quarter of the game or the final seconds of the game. This is someone you want on the hardwood for your basketball team. And if the Miami Heat can go out and acquire someone like De'Aaron Fox, it would be monumental, because also we'd be getting rid of someone in Jimmy Butler who has done nothing but really hold us down as of late. Now, if we look at the odds, shout out to Bovada on, obviously, Bovada official on Twitter, but NBA Central did post this linking and citing Bovada's odds for the recent news yesterday of De'Aaron Fox and how he is now available for trade. And the Miami Heat are listed as the favorites at plus 450 to land the all-star point guard. Now, I will say I don't believe this is relatively accurate. Now, the reason I do say that is because I believe there's a very large chance that De'Aaron Fox lands in San Antonio playing alongside Victor Wembanyama. Now, what they would end up giving up would be substantial. Now, how good would that make their team due to the lack of talent they would then have due to the trade they would have to make to go out and get someone like De'Aaron Fox, involving people like Stephon Castle, as well as other young, very good pieces they have in San Antonio. But being able to put Fox next to Wemby would be terrifying, and there's no way around it. That would be that would be very good, and Greg Popovich would have a field day doing whatever he wanted with that tandem. But again, I would love to see him land in Miami. I know I genuinely, I feel like the best odds are in the idea that he lands in San Antonio. But with Jimmy Butler being as available as he is, with the Miami Heat sitting in the position they are currently sitting in, I believe they could go out there and make a massive splash. And just think about it. Tyler Hero, who is by far and away the best player on this Miami Heat team this season, is a Kentucky Blue Blood. He did go to Kentucky. He played at Kentucky. He was successful at Kentucky. He came to the NBA. He was drafted by the Miami Heat. Bam Adebayo in the same draft class as De'Aaron Fox, just 9 picks later, coming out of the University of Kentucky after playing alongside De'Aaron Fox and losing in the Elite Eight and crying in the locker room together with De'Aaron Fox's arm around Bam Adebayo. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I think this is genius. If De'Aaron Fox signs to the Miami Heat, if there's a trade for De'Aaron Fox and he lands in a Miami Heat jersey and he plays for the rest of, and it's not like if something catastrophic doesn't happen, and the idea that he's traded to the Miami Heat and he immediately flipped or something happens that would just totally derail this, I will pop bottles of champagne on this channel in the next video. But again, the last thing we are going to cite is Keith Smith on Twitter. Keith Smith NBA on Twitter, going on to note this, which is very important, surrounding the De'Aaron Fox trade possibilities, as he goes on to say, important thing to note for De'Aaron Fox. If he's traded, he's no longer eligible to sign a designated veteran Supermax extension, even if he makes All NBA. Then he goes on to say, a player can only sign that type of extension with the team who drafted him, or if traded while still on his rookie deal. Now, De'Aaron Fox is far from a rookie deal, as he signed a 5-year, $163 million extension with the Sacramento Kings. Obviously, he was drafted in 2017. He signed this contract in 2021 to take him to the to the year 2025. So again, this is interesting. It's going to play out very, very fun. I honestly think it's going to be exhilarating to see these trade talks really boil over. Obviously, Jimmy Butler in the middle of his chaotic middle of the season point where he's about to be traded. The Miami Heat stuck in this position dealing with Jimmy Butler. Now De'Aaron Fox becoming very much available before that February 6th trade deadline. The Miami Heat are going to have to make a move in order to go out and get him. They're going to have to make a move in order to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Let's kill two birds with one stone and start making moves involving Butler, trying to acquire the young point guard in De'Aaron Fox. I think this would be massive. Again, this is the 2016-2017 Kentucky Wildcats roster. A lot of nostalgia in this. I don't know if you guys are roughly my age. This was fun to watch when you were 16, 17 years old with John Calipari coaching. De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, Isaiah Briscoe, Calipari's son as well was on this team. This was a lot of fun to watch. And again, just another idea that these two guys were teammates at one point. It'd be fun to reunite them once again, and this time on the NBA scale for the Miami Heat. But again, let me know down below what you guys think about the possibility of landing De'Aaron Fox on this Miami Heat organization. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Heat Digest. Thank you guys for watching.